So hi, we are from Group 5 and today we'll be interviewing the owner of Award Design Works Asia, Mr. Alfred, to find out more about his company and what makes it so interesting.
You're most welcome.
Hi Mr. Alfred, my name is Alvina and I would like to start off by asking if you could introduce yourself as well as your role in the company.
My name is Alfred Au from Award Design Works Asia. I'm the founder of this company and it's shared between me and my wife, Jasmine, 50-50 partnership. Yeah, it's a single but hard company.
So when was the company established and what inspired its creation?
Award Design Works Asia was started here in 1999 and we started from a rented office in Ajang. And we started from there, we rented and it was really far for us, so then we decided to shift back to Taman Mida. And from Taman Mida, it was rented again for a good 3 years until we saved enough money and we bought the current office that we have today, which is a corner house where we converted into a work and play office.
Hi, my name is Kyler. May I ask what inspires you to come up with the idea for your company?
Well, I had always wanted to be on my own since young doing business. So it was I'm actually a self-taught interior designer. When I started, it wasn't interior design. I'd always had passions into anything that's interior. And ever since I first came to KL when I was 18 years old, and I've already started collecting a lot of boxes, a lot of pallets, and I started to make my own, because as a student, we don't have much budget then, so we collect a lot of this and we recycle and becomes our little interior works. It came out on a newspaper once as well. It was a Chinese publications in the north back then. So anyway, how it got started was after we got, I worked in a company selling carpet tiles, carpet in a tile form back in 1997. That time I was only 22 years old. And that company, I worked for 1.5 years until the Asian crisis hit us. When the Asian crisis hit us, it was quite tough throughout the whole Asia. So company decided to close down and I was only left with 2,000 ringgit and I started my little company with just 2,000 ringgit. Back then, it was a one-man show. I worked from home and I keep some stocks at home and I bought a little van for 10,000 ringgit. I ferry it, I installed the carpet on one and everything. It was just carpet in a tile form then. And slowly, as I experiment with other materials like timber flooring, carpet in a roll form, roll carpet, wallpaper, blinds and whatnot, that's where I start to have more passions into experimenting with more interior materials.
Moving on, may I know what is the vision and mission of your company?
Our mission is to provide affordable interior design works for our customers. Unlike a lot of competitors out there, they will just when they approach the clients, they will just say, how many rooms do you want? How many rooms? What's your budget? And they work around that. I would investigate more. I'd like to have more thorough planning with the customers, like walking along the long journey. It's like, for example, we do a lot of corporate offices. We do mostly corporate. I would say 90% of our projects are corporate offices. So when we have meetings with them, we'll discuss, we'll find out what are your plan Bs, plan Cs, plan Ds. Half a year later, 1 year later, 2 years later, your contingency plans. And that's how we design based on your need, your current. So we are more of an investigative design. We come from a investigative design approach. And it's not that one size fits all, like 100K would fit in here like that. Sometimes they may not need 100K, it could be just 50K. Where is resolve it. Some jobs may not even require interior design. So we come from a different point of view there.
Hello, I'm Sui. May I know what challenges do you face when you're starting a business?
The first challenge would be having the clientele. You're gonna find the right clientele to get afloat. I think that will be a continuation to today. But the biggest would be setting afloat. That's one. Secondly is to find the right stuff when God's willing. Naturally, a lot of stuff's being recommended by friends and someone from the same taman, and gradually they came, then one after another. Secondly would be keeping the flow, which means if we have jobs today, we would love to have the jobs continue tomorrow and onwards and a bit later. But having jobs which is consistent, that would be a big headache for us. And until today, we're still facing that.
Hi Mr. Alfred, I'm Ujing. May I know how do you motivate and also manage your employees?
Well, we always try to keep close to them. We stay close, although I'm the boss. I don't have this concept like they work for us. We work together. So that's when me and even my partner Justin would get into the battleground and we work along together. And I don't position myself being like a boss. You guys got to be answerable to me now. We always find find time to have a meeting. They may not necessarily be like other corporates, like, oh, we have a meeting at 9 o'clock on Monday morning that way. No, we don't. Our meetings had always been casual, ad hoc, and when required, it could be in the site, it could be even in the car. We will have findings among each other and how to improvise, and improve the system of the company.
Hi, Mr. Ao. My name is Yao Wenxuan, and my first question for you is, how do you handle conflicts within your team?
Say a conflict within my team, regardless whether with the bosses or between team members, we try to sit down with them. We try to pull them in, having amicable conversations, and we'll try to find out where it starts from. The whole game plan is we do not want to just douse the fire by today itself. We want to douse the fire continuously. So we start implementing. Until today, we're still implementing new strategies, improvise and keep improvising and keeping everyone in the team happy. It is part of the whole body, I always keep telling them the stories like, look, I may be the brain today, but today, this project, you may be the brain, I may be the leg. So I'll support from the leg form, or maybe the next project I'll support in the form of just the thumb. I'll support in the middle finger. I support myself in this organization in multiple manners.
My next question is, what qualities do you think a successful entrepreneur should have?
I would say the main quality of a successful entrepreneur is not really about how smart he is. It is about how much effort he could put into himself in dealing with his organization, to be involved, inclusiveness of it. You gotta be humble, you gotta stay humble, you gotta understand and work along with your teammates rather than always the conventional from the top tier hierarchy structure. So the keyword would be to stay humble, to stay close, not just humble. You gotta stay connected, like what's happening within the site today, like what's happening within the first quarter of the day, within the 1 day, within 1 week, within 2 weeks. You got to be involved. You got to be at the site or even the office to feel the pulse of the frequency of your office. So it needs to be involved, humbleness, and communications matters here. That's the key word to it.
Hello, I'm Ng Jason. For the next question, what financial challenges have you faced as a business owner?
When I started on my own back in 1990, and I would say end of 98, I had only 2,000 ringgit back then. I need to have a rented office, or buy an office, I need to have a secretary, I need to have an account, I have to photostat my own letterhead, and I type my quotation onto this paper as if it's an official letterhead. And I couldn't afford to buy a fax machine and also to pay for the landline. So what happens is sometimes the client goes, Alfred, where's your quotation? I say, I'm nearby, I'll just pass to you by hand. It's not about nearby, but because I couldn't afford to have the machines. So I started with that constraint. And what other struggles do we have as a financial for the company? Keeping the flow, because when we do the projects, we need to give credit to our clients. You got to have extra funds to move on. Where do you find the funds? So funds, the flow, it's very important. So as we moved on, at times we do get credits facilities from our suppliers.
Moving on, how much profit does your business usually generate monthly or annually?
So we talk about percentage, it's very subjective. For example, 100,000 project, if you were to do a house will take you, say, 4 months to complete. So 100,000, you get, say, you earn, generically in the market, it always been 1/4 to 1/3 profit. So it's between 25% to 30% profit. So 100K, you get 30,000. So that month itself, you only have 10K profit per month. So if that project, let's say I'm doing corporate office very fast, and most of the time we have stringent deadlines. Alfred, we need it to be completed within 1 month. So in that 1 month, we profit 30,000. Alfred, we need this completed in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, I profit 30,000. So that it's a volatile pattern throughout.
Hi, I'm Jiahui, and I'm curious about what marketing strategy does your company use to attract new customers?
So one of the strategy I took was I've joined a business networking team, a business networking platform. It's called BNI, Business Network International, where a lot of like-minded business owners from different industries would start to connect with each other and recommend jobs to each other without any commission, whatnot. So that by joining that platform has also given me quite a fair bit of recognition and knowledge sharing, known a lot of like-minded entrepreneurs, and got a lot of referred projects that I think, accumulated until today, which is, although I've stopped from that networking platform, there are still continuation of referrals. Second strategy that we did was we stay very close with our current clients. So that's where we get a lot of repeat customers. Repeat sales from them as well. Yeah.
What unique selling proposition differentiate your company from competitors?
As for me, I'm more of a friendlier approach. I talk to my clients like friends. I reason up with them. Sometimes I disagree with clients, and when I disagree, I'll just tell them, look, it doesn't make sense design like that. Why don't you do this? Because I come in a more of on a debate platform, because what I want is the best final results. So I don't mind getting into the negative zone whereby we are against their concept. We will go further than that. We come from a more logic person. I'm a logic person. So we design logics, we come with logic costing and all. Like for example, the first thing I'm going to ask them, is this rented or your own property? They say rented, is like, okay, fine, don't waste too much time on this. Why don't we keep this money to do this? Maybe you can buy more, spend more on things that you can remove, those furnitures and all. Try not to spend too much on the built-in, which you can't. Even if there's a built-in, we will design in such that it is replaceable, we can remove it that way. Try to have minimum damage done onto anything that's structured. So we come from that point of view. Whereas other companies, they wouldn't get into this. They would just like, okay, they would like the client to spend even more.
Hi Mr. Ao, my name is Sini. So may I know how important are referrals and word of mouth marketing to your business?
Word of mouth referrals would always be the number one, the strongest connection. I would say that from that approach, it gives you the most chance of sealing the contract. Just for example, if let's say you have your brother, you have a brother, and say the brother says, okay, we just bought a house, and the brother goes online to search for an interior designer. What do? They just interior designer. Maybe they'll come to approach of different pricing or different jobs they've done before. They see from portfolio. Yeah, relationship really matters, and sincerity matters here. Sometimes with this relationship does not equate to giving it cheap. A lot of people would say, okay lah, kaki lah, own friend, give cheap. I don't do that. Sometimes I will still be selling the same price that I'm selling corporate outside, but what I'm giving is the real thing. It's not that it's because of friends this. Maybe a bit of discount here and there, but it may not be as substantial because it's friend. Then it will be even a relative project, it will be relatively half of the price. No, it doesn't work that way.
Thank you, Mr. Ao. My next question is, what strategies do you use to increase customer satisfaction and warranty? Well,
first strategy would be when a lot of corporates outside, they do not give them warranty. The most they'll give is just 1 month warranty. That's unheard of, I think. 1 month or maybe half a month. As for us, close eye, we'll just do 1 year. One, because we have our own staff, own team, so we're able to do ASAP response team. Immediate, especially when you do corporates, when there's any hiccups, troubleshooting on the electricity and the water issue, we can be instantly there within the same day itself, we can rectify. So that's one thing that which also acts as a confidence to the client. Secondly, we are answerable to what we deliver, as in what we design and what we construct. And thirdly, that is also as an approach to be connected. So even half a year's time, we'll just say, can you come and pay your visit? Because some small things they don't even bother. But when the approach is there, that is also a way for us to connect with our client. And secondly, to give the confidence that we're concerned, we care for your interior design, interiors. And thirdly, that could be a little possible of small sales as well. It's like, oh, by the way, do you do this or this? Sometimes we do for free. That's okay as a building, bridging the connection. Secondly, sometimes it's chargeable, means it's an extra income.
Hello, Mr. Ao. My name is Tan Shi Wei. May I know what was your biggest business setback, challenge, or failure that you faced, and what did you learn from it?
Our problems comes from within staffing. There will be betrayals when staff comes work for you, then they work for other people. Or some projects they get it, they don't refer back to the company. They will subcontract on their own. Cheated by clients who took our money and disappeared. We've done that. We've been that before. Suppliers who took our money and disappeared. Yes. Supplier who gave us the first impression of this, and secondly it came out the other way around. First time is friendly, subsequently becomes the enemy. We've come across a lot of that. I would say a lot of human errors are involved here, a lot of human errors. We went through that. So betrayal by staffing, we've been through money, staff took our money, staff took the money from the client and use the money to gamble. We've been through that as well. Lorries, we had 2 lorries missing. We had 4 cars missing before. 2 lorries and 1 Camry and another wildfire. We've been through more than I think a lot of corporates are facing. And I've learned a lot of that. So ever since then, we were pretty reluctant in employing staff now. We only make good with our staff. We try to maximize, give them OT, whatnot, rather than employing new ones. So we got more involved into the task. And through this process, we are very, very careful in employing staffs. Very, very careful, because it may be a trap. It's not even a trap. Even if we are on the winning side, it's very tiring.
Hi, Mr. Alfred. My name is C. Patient. The first question from me is, may I know what is your company's goals for the next 5 years?
The next 5 years, I wouldn't say 5 years, I would say even the next 1 year, it is more of a succession game plan now. We trying to employ younger ones, because as we grow old, we need the younger ones to support us. It looks ugly for me when I'm 55. I'll still go to the site to measure. It'll feel very ugly for you at 60 years old. You're still driving a lorry to give the support, because I support my staff in any way. We drive the lorry, we help them carry things. Even Auntie Jasmine, she will go to the site when required. She will mop the clean, the fuel. We go down, we become the bangla ourselves as well when required. So in the next 1 year, I plan to strengthen ourselves into the IT part of it, on the media, social media part. We need hands on that part in social media. We need hands to employ right staff with, of course, a higher salary. Not 1,007, but good staff with good salary. A good platform, a happy platform for everyone, so we can work longer together, and then I could somehow take a rest, not a long rest, but a little break, so you can be selective in the sites that you want to be there. Some you can just leave them. I mean, for now I can still do that, but I felt bad when my guys are there and I'm not supporting. So having, I would say, to double up the staff, the team that we have today, that's my criteria, my KPI for this year itself. Another 6 months time.
My next question is, as an entrepreneur, what advice would you give to students who want to start their own business?
What advice? Do not borrow. Do not borrow. Do not borrow much, just because I'm not to say that you can't borrow. If you were to borrow, you've got to be very disciplined. But for youngsters, I would say money is the big key issue, number one. And secondly, when you're very close to your money, you don't simply spend, you see the value of the money. Which means you like, even the 100,000 project, you get the 10,000, you value that 10,000. You know your 10,000 will be good use to stuffing and whatnot. Try not to overcommit buying cars. A lot of youngsters, I've been through that myself, and I've earned a lot of back then, even before interior design. I always tell the youngsters, try to stay yourself, try to make yourself a KPI to retire by 30 years old. It's possible. Retire by 30 years old, which is, let's regret, say by 20 years old, 22 years old, you have 7 years. But if you plan well, 7 years is as much as 70 years really, if you know how to plan well. So by 30 years old, you retire, your funds, not to retire, your funds are comfortable that you don't need to work anymore. By 30 years old, then you see a broader picture here.
It comes to the end for today's interview sessions. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Alfred. We appreciate for your thoughtful sharing today.
And that's all from Group 5. Bye!